The phone rings and you jump. You're not used to hearing it. No one ever calls you. It must be Jose. You pick up. Jose sounds irritated. You there? Yeah. Listen, it's... He pauses. You suddenly hear a ruckus in the background. Probably noise at the station. Jose raises her voice. Anyone got the time? Hey, guys! Anyone? Fuck. They're all Neanderthals here. Listen, it's early and I'm wiped out. So are you, I bet. Let's get straight to the point. What do you have for me? In a calm and methodical voice, you start giving her the evidence you collected. You start with the first suspect, their connection to the victims, the rumors, then the second suspect, and so on. A few minutes in, she lets out a whistle. Not bad at all, seriously, you should come give a lesson to the zombies I work with. A long sigh. I have some good news for you. We checked the alibi of one of the suspects I gave you. As you listen to her, you turn to the board and pull down the suspect she was referring to. So, it's gotta be someone else. She snickers. You know how lucky you are? I'm doing your job for you, pal. Okay, enough chit-chat. I gotta run. What does she mean, I'm being lucky at all? Like, I'm doing her job for her. Like, come on. It's the police's job to find this fucking guy, not mine, but... Okay, whatever. I'll call you into 3 days, okay? Alright, okay. I'll call you in 3 days and you better have what I need to make a proper arrest. The DA has fangs. We're pretty sure he's going to turn into a werewolf at some point. She babbles on for a while. Her voice becomes softer, but just as sarcastic. That would explain his terrible breath. Okay, I'm out. She hangs up. You hold the handset to your ear for a while. You have just one thing in your mind, sleeping. And forgetting it all. Alright, cool. So this... Alright. One of the suspects has been cleared. That's cool. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You pull open the sofa bed, which unfolds with an unpleasant creak. You collapsed onto the mattress. The events of the day run through your heads. Okay, yeah. This is always the same. I rearranged a bit more of the clues on our boards so it can look a bit neater. And here we go. 4th night. Your attention turns to shouting upstairs, a door slamming. Typical. Gets up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Here we go, night 4. Cool. Alright, we have a couple of observation points. I'm just going to do one of them today. Not sure if there'll be more in the next night, but I'm just gonna do one of them real quick. Or shall we? Let's listen to the radio first, sorry. Top news tonight, one of those call-in shows. Actually, let's listen to the talk show right now. At night, you often happen upon the same show. A woman calling herself Lady Monique takes calls from all over France. People tell her about their problems, the trivialities of their lives, and Lady Monique listens and gives them advice. You like the show because the callers remind you of yourself, worn out, exhausted, at the end of their rope. But especially because Lady Monique is also trying to figure out who the killer is. Oh, interesting. And my game just froze, I think. Yeah, the game just stopped responding. Alright, give me a second here. Figure out who the killer is. That's very interesting. Let's see what she has to say. Tune into the show in the middle. Happens every time. Caller is explaining why she only eats rotten fruit. You listen to her arguments for one very long minute before letting your mind wander. You're not in the mood tonight. A moment later, Lady Monique and the caller start butting heads. You turn off the radio and find yourself alone in the silence of your cab. Okay, that wasn't very helpful. I think I just wasted half an hour there listening to a rubbish talk show. Hey, that's life, right? Alright, let's move on. So I started up the game again and I have different passengers now. It must be randomly generated or something. Okay, let's go to the first observation point here on our map to see if we can muster a couple more clues. The police archives look like any other building in Paris. No sign, nothing to make it stand out. But this is where all the case files and criminal records are stored. You know the place well. For several months, you spend a lot of time with the woman who directs it. She was a regular passenger, calling upon you almost every night. First as a driver, then you can see her shape from across the street. Try to prevent your brain from going there, but it has a mind of its own. She's as beautiful as ever. You get out of the cab, cross over to the sidewalk on the other side. Helene. I'm not going to lie, I was surprised by your request. She lights a cigarette. Still has that cold, distant look about her. But you know it's just a facade. You don't smoke anymore? Yeah, go ahead, let's join her, why not? That first waft of nicotine and gas from the lighter, heaven. He runs the hand through her hair. Her wedding band shines under the street lamp. You're freezing. Listen, I'm not sure you know I'm not allowed. I'm sure you know I'm not allowed to give you this kind of information. But if what you said is true, then you get the impression she's reaching for your side. Let her do it. Why not? Her hand brushes over your wounds. You think about her body, her habits, how she used to call you in the middle of the night. I fished around and the first 3 victims were not part of the data leak. Shit. Shit indeed. That means the information about Besson, Beauchamp, and the Argentinian one. Gorodishir? Yes, that's it. Gorodishir. It all came from someone who had access to their criminal records. That help? You nod. Bits of ash from your cigarette sprinkle onto your pants. You attempt to smile. Yes, it's better than nothing. A moment of silence. Helena takes a drag of her cigarette like there's no tomorrow. She paces a bit warm to herself up. You should come over sometime. What do you think? You grin. You and Elena used to sleep together when things with her husband weren't so good. I don't think that would be a good idea. Yeah, let's leave her at that. She turns her head away in a soft, graceful motion. Of course, I don't know why She looks deep into your eyes. You look down. Her hands are shaking. One last smile and she puts her cigarette out. You do the same. I've got to run. Do you need a taxi, by any chance? Might as well try and return the favor. That's very kind of you, but Bruno is coming to pick me up in a little while. Good luck. She reaches out for you. She reaches out to you affectionately, then stops. You decide to cross the street, to put some distance between you quickly as possible. When you get to your cab, you hear her saying something. She's yelling from across the street. Also, you should stop smoking, it's bad for your health. Okay. You wave. She goes back into the archives. You get in your cab and rub your hands together. Time to get back to your shift. Alright, so cool, we didn't waste that much time with Elena and we got a nice little update. So the first 3 victims, they were not in the data leak. That happened at some point, apparently. So there's no connection there. We must continue the investigation. Let me check. Shall we take let's take a passenger. I can't see the person behind this one, but we'll just do it. Hold up, what? 2 police officers standing... can't read that. Amélie Franconi. Okay, 14th arrondissement? Arrondissement? Thanks, alright. Let's do this. 4 euros. That's nothing, but okay. The passenger who enters your cab seems familiar to you. She gives you her address and you start driving. You glance back at her from time to time, trying to remember where you've seen her before. No use. Suddenly, she gives you a little pout, clearly annoyed by your insistent gaze. Sorry, your face seems familiar to you. To me. He breathes an audible sigh. Could be. She pauses deliberately. I mean porn. Okay, nice. That's who she is. An actress. A former actress. You'd seen her in a couple movies a few years ago. That's probably why you recognize my face. Your mouth suddenly goes dry. Her eyes and voice show no sign of emotion whatsoever. You might as well have said she were a teacher or a dentist. You're not just an actress? She was an actress. I'll just say that's unusual. You're right, it is. A smile tugs at the corner of her mouth. But my job, I'm proud of what I do actually. Though I'd be lying if I said it was always easy, but given the state of the industry nowadays, and even then, sometimes it's an illuminated shop window catches her eye, she stops for a moment. Especially with the parents at my son's school, some of the fathers recognize me. She's watching you closely. Some of the mothers too, for that matter. She smiles. Usually I can see they're either amused or ashamed, which is too bad either way. I can imagine, yeah. Your eyes meet, a faint smile tugs at the corner of her mouth. See? Can you imagine the talk? Interesting movie. Her voice is tinged with a subtle irony. She's used to having conversations like this. I don't think you can imagine. You probably think it's a pretty good job. Your work day is all about orgasms, climaxing, and pleasure. She sighs heavily. It's anything but intimate, anything but personal. You are naked in front of a film crew. Then there's the guy penetrating you, who isn't really looking into your eyes because otherwise he'll come too fast, or who's thinking about his wife and suddenly goes soft. She rolls her eyes. Or you have to stop in the middle of a doggy because the spotlight's been knocked over, and you have to pick up exactly where you left off 3 minutes later. And I'll spare you the details about all the rotten actors, all the aggressive stupid assholes. You couldn't possibly imagine them either. She looks away. You sense she's being utterly honest. Afterwards, she goes on with a faint smile. But that's no excuse for your lack of tact. Profession has changed a lot since then, and I want to bring about even more changes. She leans forward slightly. Before, actresses could count on working for a dozen years or so, 15 if they started young. They'd have a moment in the spotlight and then it was over. The next career step was merely a slow decline. But nowadays, actresses have power, thanks to the media, to streaming and Twitter. She catches her breath, can sense she is full of energy, electrified by the discussion. I started my own production company, and we make porn. She loves talking about it. You can see it in her face. Gender-positive porn, committed, respectful. Some call it feminist, but I'm not sure that's how I describe it. Her voice is calm. A gleam of passion lights up her eyes. We shoot with probes. We are respectful of our bodies and personalities. Our actresses and actors are paid well. They receive residual earnings. It's brand new, a first. It's fresh and it works. Zero tolerance when it comes to those dubious types, to wandering hands, to any assaults on the well-being of our actors and actresses. Respect, diversity, creativity. He lets out a sigh. I spend a lot of money defending our profession, going after sites illegally broadcasting our videos, making sure pirates are punished. Say nothing. She leans forward. But, by the way, do you like that kind of porn? Just asking because I'm curious about what people like to watch. It's not really my thing. It's okay to talk about it, Let's just say the truth, tell the truth. It's true, I hardly watch any. Hardly any? Yeah. You blush slightly. Come on, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Do you prefer younger women, older women? What do you mean, yeah? Yeah, yeah to which question? Or no to which question? Let's just say nothing. Men? No. She leans back, an embarrassed smile playing across her lips. Alright, I'll stop bothering you with questions. You can't help reading in her eyes a touch of satisfaction, as if she'd enjoyed asking you all those questions. Before long, you arrive at the address and your passenger has given you... You have trouble parking. None of the street lights are working. There's nothing stranger than an unlit Parisian street in the middle of the night. Your client gives a slight cough behind you. You wouldn't mind staying here until I'm in the building? They're doing work. The lights aren't working. She doesn't even finish her sentence. No problem. Thanks. I have to say I've been feeling a little insecure lately. All of her energy suddenly seems to have vanished. She hesitates for a moment, as if she can feel your connection with the killer before speaking. I knew one of the victims of the serial killer. Alright, here we go. Nathalie. I knew her pretty well, in fact. We'd worked together and sometimes she babysit my son. You know, she was a great girl. She started talking about her friends. Who she was, who she had been seeing, how she had changed just before she died. You make a mental note of the new information. I'll stay here until you're in the building, okay? Thank you. She hands you the fare and exits the cab, slowly crossing the street in total darkness to the door of her building. You remember that night. The pain, the stab of the knife in your side. If only you had turned your head, you would have seen your assailant's face. Maybe they would have killed you that night. Maybe your attacker would have already spotted you in your cab. Passenger waves to you as the building door closes. You wave back. Fear spreads slowly through your body. You breathe slowly and drive away. Alright, didn't leave much of a tip, 50 cents. We have 5 euros out of that fare. That's pretty cool. That's alright, I guess. It was pretty interesting. Prostitutes. I have a few issues with the whole prostitution game, but she's apparently she's ahead of the game, making all so-called feminist prostitution or porn. Let's say that. But yeah, I mean there are various arguments on both sides to if it's really helpful towards the cause of feminism or not. Porn. I'm gonna stay out of it because it's very controversial and just carry on with the game, shall we? Alright. Let's we still have some fuel. Let's pick up another passenger here, someone that's close. This person, for example. Metro Victor Hugo, please. The passenger gets into the cab and gives you her address. Her voice is muted, far away. You start up the cab. She appears rather meek, subdued, like she's about to fade away. You look up at her. She returns your gaze, but she's not there. It's as if you weren't looking at an actual person, but at a silhouette instead, the shape of a human being. Like some music? Maybe that'll calm her down. Music. She pauses. I don't know. You won't. She breaks off again. What kind of music do you have? Whatever is on the radio. I never listen to the radio. I don't really know what's any good. Maybe. She seems to be weighing her options. Classical, jazz, rock, African, rock? She gives you a listless smile. Rock? That's fine. A few seconds later you find a station playing rock, an old song from the 80s with oddly dated sounds. I never listened to rock. It'll be a good change. She is silent again. You notice the young woman is keeping time with her I should listen to rock when I'm working on my thesis. It probably inspire me. Your thesis? Yes. Not another word. She turns her head slightly as if thinking about something unpleasant. What's the subject? The progressive nuns of Rancé Abbey. At the dawn of the industrial era, the air in the cab seems icy. Okay. Sounds very specific, yeah, exactly. Extremely. Too much so, no doubt. My field of research is terribly limited and... how should I put it? She sighs. It's deadly boring. Subject that no one's interested in. My thesis supervisor for a start, my parents, my ex, and worst of all, even me. So why are you doing it? What the hell are you doing it? She stares at you. The subject is a trap, never been explored, and it informs our perception of women in the 18th century. Not all women, I would guess it would just be the nuns, no? But no one is interested in it. That's how it goes. I got used to my thesis, to the subject. Doctoral theses are rarely interesting, you know? But mine, I think I've hit rock bottom. Well, it's a useful subject. I guess if you can relate to the women in that era, and you can extrapolate some of the behaviors and whatnot, I guess that would be pretty interesting. But nuns are a very specific group of women, and they don't really reflect the whole community, do they? I'm not sure. It's a useful subject, right? Her eyes widen. Nope, definitely not. I still wonder how I ever believed it wouldn't be such a colossal bore. She hesitantly lifts her hand. But I'm the one who chooses my thesis. Me and no one else. Be honest, it will no doubt be the only thing that remains of me when I die. I'm sure you'll do much better things with your life. Don't say that. She shrugs. You're right. There's nothing more to be said on the subject. A wry smile tugs at the corner of her mouth, as if she enjoys the thoughts of seeing loathsome people suffer. My parents think... Her voice falters. She is unable to go on. It takes her a few seconds to pluck up the courage to speak again. My parents think I've made a mess of my life. I know they do. They haven't said so, of course. They are there for me, they help me, but deep down, they know it's too late. The song on the radio breaks into an engaging melodic tune, contrasting the saturated sounds of the electric guitar. I'm 28. Oh please, how can you be how can you even say that? You have your whole life ahead of you. I'm 27, by the way, so like she can't be saying this. I'm doing a doctoral thesis on 18th century nuns. Yeah, you have a doctorate. That's more than your average 28. So don't say you're squandering your life away, because like there's a lot of people without these kinds of opportunities in life. My brothers went to top business schools and earned MBAs. They married and have children. And me, I'm compiling pages and pages on information on nuns. You pulled up to the passenger's address, an opulent-looking building in the 16th arrondissement. The young woman is perfectly still, seemingly paralyzed. I am very grateful to you for having tried to cheer me up, without success, but I still appreciate your trying. A trace of a smile plays across her lips. You believe that everyone has a purpose in life. She shrugs. I don't. Well, that's very meek. That's a very meek outlook on life. She hands you the fare, then exits the cab without words. A moment later, she's walking away, heading towards her building. A new song is playing on the radio, an old hit from the 80s, vintage synth, and the sound of camera flashbulbs. A voice in French repeats the words Polaroid Roman photo over and over again. You sit there a moment longer, then start up the cab. Alright, made 20 euros out of that. That's not bad. I think we still have to make a lot more, to be honest, so we can maintain our expenses. So it's quarter past midnight. Quarter past midnight. Yeah. Oh, there's this person again. Shall we pick her up? Yeah, why not? Actually, no, let me pick up the old man here. Kinda reminds me of Santa Claus. Maybe it's him again? A woman is waving quickly down the street. She sees you, pauses. Henry du Tilo. Okay, let's just take him. It's 18 euros. Before he even gets in your cab, you decide you don't like your next passenger's face. He looks like an old fart. Like someone who's going to annoy you, make you angry. He gets in the back of the cab with a little dog that seems bad off. From time to time it moans and yelps. Molitor Veterinary Clinic, please. Start driving, unable to put a finger on the smell he brought in with him. Is everything okay? Well, obviously not. He shrugs. Look at her snout, her glassy little eyes. Moliette is about to pass. She's living her final hours in this world. Yet, you're pretty sure you can see a smile making its way across his face. She's been like this for 10 years. She's in pain. His voice sinks into peaky sadness. Morning to evening, all night too, she's in pain and I hope she will soon be freed from suffering. He pauses. Man, poor little dog, 10 years of suffering? Poor little dog. For our own good, for everyone's good. He looks out the window for a second, letting his thoughts slip away. I'm really sorry. He shrugs, pretty much ignoring you. He doesn't finish his sentence. The dog moans, a long, painful yelp. It resonates in the cab and then concentrate on driving, on the road, the streets ahead. You're good at that. You know how to turn off your brain. Follow the white lines, brake for red light, go on green. In back, the dog occasionally makes a little tooting noise. You think the strange smell must be coming from her. Your passenger clears his throat. You like animals? Oh yeah, I do love animals, yes. I love them. It's funny. You don't look like someone who... This dog is my whole life. She's the only child I ever had. She's my progeny, if you will. Do you believe in reincarnation? Not really. Not really. What a shame. Such a shame. I didn't believe in it before. Of course not. Didn't believe in it. But then I saw it with my very own eyes. Moliette, she's the reincarnation of Coco Chanel. Okay. Like the Coco Chanel? Okay, like the perfume, the woman that made the perfume? Your passenger appears to be thrown off by your question. His voice booms. Coco Chanel, the most important designer in the history of fashion. A wonderful woman, a fighter. His voice suddenly gets softer. Moliette has her grace, the same severity in her warmth. His eyes are moist. My mother knew Coco well. They worked together. Mother supplied her with some of the fabric she used. I met her several times. I was young at the time, but was already working in Mother's boutique on. He seems to have lost his train of thought. He wipes his eyes with the back of his hand. We let him be for a while. The first time I saw Moliette, I said, yes, it's Coco Chanel. She was the last one in the litter, but she already had such presence. Yes, that's it, presence. And her illness has never been able to take that away from her, ever. That's great, I guess. If you believe in that, why not? Your passenger chooses not to react to your remark. He looks away, uncomfortable with the conversation. He leans over his dog, whispers a few words in her ear. You can only make out the last words. Almost over. The veterinary clinic is just at the end of the street. Your passenger is getting impatient in the back. As soon as you come to a stop, he hands you his fare. Okay, come on, Moliette. You cease to exist, like you became a ghost. You watch the old man leave the cab with his dog under an arm. He walks up to the clinic. The automatic doors remain closed. He freezes for a minute. Just as he is about to run on his heels, the doors open. The old man walks inside. You open the window to air out the cab. You've identified the smell that's been lingering since the beginning of the ride. Mothballs. like your passengers just stepped out of an old closet. Cool air floods over your face. You take a deep breath. Alright, sweet. 18 euros we got from that. Not much of a tip, but that's okay. Alright, so the fuel is in the reds. We better restock. Pretty close to a gas station here. Just gonna go for it. 3 businessmen in impeccable suits are coming out of a nightclub. Okay. Didn't quite get that, but that's fine. Alright, are we putting... okay, gas pump. Oh, shall we enter the shop? Why not? You walk into the mini-mart. The clerk behind the counter is undoubtedly the most ordinary person you've ever seen. Yeah? Newspaper... was it Versailles? Was it a ticket to Versailles? Cash, a lottery ticket, I guess. Joyeux Sourire? I'm not sure how you said that. Another lottery tickets, I guess. Let's buy one. Scratch cards. Nice, I won 8 euros. Sweet, not bad. You grin at the store clerk. I'll come back tomorrow for the Versailles. Okay. Let's buy the newspaper since we've just won $8. 8 euros, sorry. And let's talk to the clerk. This serial killer business is crazy. The clerk cuts you off, pointing an angry finger at the newspapers on display in front of him. Have you seen how much the police suck at catching him? You smile and let him keep talking. You have a new clue. Nice, okay. The guy behind the counter barely looks at you as you leave. Alright, so I guess the clerk gave us some information. Let's pump the gas here. Oh, I just keep going until I finish. Oh my god, gas is expensive, eh? Let's just fill the tank. Nice. And let's leave. You get into your taxi and drive away. Wow, we did spend lots of money just in gas right now. Let me read the newspaper. Just waste a bit of time. You pull up a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. The photo of the French soccer team, who just won a match against a team from Vanuatu? Or what that is. You have no idea where Vanuatu is. Turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. Keep on reading. You thought you saw something? Okay. It's a quite involved article about the infamous police leaks affair. Who, why, and how all that confidential data was released to the public. Oh, so this is what the Elena was talking about, I think. The Justice Department is now looking at corrupt and violent cops who are known to be out of line. Concerned associations applaud how transparent they are being. Yet, the more you read, the more you get the impression the journalist does not agree with their methods. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instincts tell you to look at. It's an article about a recent police leaks incident that retraces another data leak. 2 years ago, a bunch of confidential police documents were accidentally released. Documents about Ronan Besson, Charles Beaucrin, and Simon Gorodische, the judge's first 3 victims. Intriguing. You shut the paper, you'll end up in the trash tonight. Okay, so it was leaked, after all, their names. It was just a different leak, I guess, from the one Helena was describing. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, you'll spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. Okay. Let's see. Let's pick up a passenger. Oh, that woman's going... No, there she is. I gotta pick up this passenger. She's appeared 4 times now. I gotta pick her up. You slow down a bit. You've just been hit with a migraine. Crack your window. Icy Parisian air fills the cat. You need to rest. You need coffee. You need to close your eyes. Just a minute. 1 tiny minute. You don't need to sleep. Oh shit. Oh god, what the fuck? Oh, it's someone else, okay. That scared me for a moment. You raise your head and you see yourself sitting in the backseat. Your gut clenches. No, more like someone is pulling your guts out. Yeah, I look like shit, I know. No surprise considering all the crap I eat, right? He smirks, or maybe it's just a smile, you can't quite tell. I've just got one thing to say. It won't take long. You'll be able to get back to defending the weak and the poor right after, and maybe cleaning up your reputation, and that pretty face of yours. It occurred to me. Since your wife left you, you haven't got laid, have you? That must be hard on morale, huh? And I mean, there were opportunities. There was Cynthia, that's her name, the nurse who changed your bag of piss. He lets out a snicker. Or that chick you never called back. What was her name again? Julia, I guess? I don't know. He glances sideways at you. You know very well who I am talking about. Go on. His voice gets quieter, sounds far away. Say her name. What's the name of that girl you never called back? Just don't say anything. Your silence seems to be getting on his nerves. He sits up and scolds you. Stop fucking with me, asswipe. I know you know. He bares his teeth. Go on. The shape leans towards you. The smell of stale cigarettes coming off of it fills your nostrils. Julie, I guess it was. Yes, say it louder. Julie. Exactly. He smiles. Julie. Julie. Pretty Julie. When was it? 5 months back? 6, maybe? Something like that. Passenger, a smile, number swapped in a taxi. A coffee. Her hair cut a bit too short. But you're into short hair, aren't you? You like it when they look like dudes, don't you? Shut it. Calm down, I was just kidding. Bits and pieces of the coffee date start to resurface. So, why don't you call it back? Julie, she left you messages. The last syllable hangs in the air. She wanted to see you again. Julie. The last syllable shimmers. She wanted to keep conversing with you. Julie. The last syllable burns. Leave me the fuck alone. And go where? I've had enough, thanks. Now, you're going to listen to me, man. As soon as you're finished doing your thing with that cop bitch, you're going to call Julie. And you're gonna fuck her. You cringe. Stop using that kind of language. What kind? What did I say? You know exactly what you just said. You... Fuck? Fuck her? Fuck Julie? Shut your fucking mouth. His guttural laugh grates on your nerves. Let me tell you why you don't have the balls to call the Julie back. Because that Julie, she was smarter than you. Because you knew she was going to talk about shit you wouldn't understand. Because you were too stupid. His posture shifts. It's almost imperceptible, sorry. But it's like he is melting into the back of the seat. You're too stupid. You lose your temper. You turn around to scream at him. Shut the fuck up already! He has vanished. You're alone in the cab. Track passes you. Sound of the city slowly comes back to life. A metro in the distance. A party on the first floor of a nearby building. You turn the car on, but let your fingers linger on the keys. The metal is neither warm nor cold, just reassuring. You stay like that for a second before driving off. Oh, okay, that was a bit weird. I guess I'm not getting enough sleep. Hallucinating. Alright, I was gonna pick that woman up with the headphones, but apparently she's gone. So I'm just gonna pick up this dude right here. I've seen him before as well. The guy with the bun. Somewhere in one of these buildings around you, a dog is barking up a storm. Peter G.J. Watson Covello. Alright, 7:21, let's do this. Door opens and your passenger collapses into the back seat. His eyes are hidden behind a pair of large, dark glasses. His clothes reek of sweat and blues, a clubber. He mumbles his destination and you start driving. A few words are exchanged, the weather, taxes, traffic. Then you can tell it's coming, the inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard, who knows, might come in handy. Your mind wanders, your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. The sodium light coming off the street lamps feels like it's dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep, you need a bit of music to keep you awake. Let's ask him first, maybe he doesn't want to listen to me. You glance at your passenger. You mind if I put a little music on? He waves his hand as if to say, who cares? You turn the radio on, pressing on the dial to find the station you like. 80s rock ballad, too soft. Behind you, your passenger is snoring, barely, but you can hear him. Gregorian chant, mind numbing. Some slow rap song filled with fake female orgasm noises, not with a passenger in the car. Two journalists discuss new evidence in the investigation into the judge's murders. The information they share, salon talk, nothing more, seems important nonetheless. And I'd interrupt the torrent of words and you change the station. Classical music again, the flute grates on your ears. Electronic music, you like the rhythm, but just aren't in the mood. Stop. You lift your hands from the dial, the music plays on. Not bad. Turn it up so I can hear better. I didn't want to wake you. His voice sounds like it's coming from a deep cavern. I wasn't sleeping, just sobering up. He leans forwards. Not bad at all. You hear the touch of an accent, probably an American, but someone who's lived most of his life in France. Leave it on until they say the musician's name. The music continues. There's something turning in the background, a persistent melody that gets higher and higher. Your client mumbles. I bet. The song is coming to an end, and the announcer, in a piercing foghorn voice, throws out the name of DJ you never heard of. DJ Blunt. I knew it. You like his stuff? Yeah, it's a pretty good product. It's pretty conventional, structured, but it's super popular. His sneakers. Still. I taught that dude everything he knows. Everything. In '94, at a party at the Rex Club, there was this kid who started buying me rounds. He waves his hand around. A kid? No older than 17. I thought he was hitting on me. He chuckles. You would have been disappointed. He shakes his head. No, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. I told him no, but you can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week until we moved to the Osiris. He sold X to pay his way in. He briefly sneakers. And now he's on the radio. Silence fills the cab, weighted silence. You can tell your passenger's mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for the soccer championship at Stade de France. It was huge. Wonder what people think if they knew he was selling drugs at 17. He lowers his voice a bit. If they only knew. Your passenger climbs up. Keep an eye on the roads. You notice a woman crossing the street at the crosswalk. She speeds up as she walks by two men talking loudly. We ran into each other in Ibiza 4 or 5 years ago. You almost jump at the sound of his voice. I was spinning in this little club, yeah, really little, but it was something. Totally ignore me, of course. Even with those dark glasses, you can see how angry he is. DJ motherfucking cunt. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rummages through his pockets and he says, your radio. Can I take a flash drive? You glance at your radio. Don't really know what it's talking about. I don't know, actually. No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the two front seats. Listen to this. It's what I played tonight. Mine. That's his phone to play. But, you know, people were barreling dancing. A drum machine playing a hard edge beat in the background. They were talking each other's picture. Or sorry, taking, not talking. 4 notes started to dance in the cab. They barely touch, never kiss anymore. A perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible. All that, a purely electronic crescendo plays, is over. There's a break in the music, synthesized strings calm the song down without slowing it down. At least, the song is getting intense again, explodes as your passenger drifts off. I got people dancing. The song keeps going for another minute, then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rhythm of his snoring. The sound fills the cab. Ideas are bouncing through your head, like they do every time you find yourself alone. This guy in the backseat is too old to be young. You look at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in time lapse. You close your eyes for a second. Only a second. When you open them, you've reached your destination and have pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knees, and he wakes with a start. Shit, yeah? We're here, sir. Ah, yes, great. He rummages through his pockets and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare. Thanks, I hope you like it. Silence. The music, my music. The song I played you. I should have been in a spotlight, you see. 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of... Stifles a burp. You hear him mumble as he leaves the taxi. Those whiskey and oranginas really screw with my system. You see him stagger towards his building. Takes him several tries to get the door open. Finally disappears inside. You leave. You heave a long sigh. Oh, okay, come on. Alright, so it's 7:32 we got from that. The night is still young and we can pick up another passenger. Oh, there she is. Let's pick her up, shall we? Annabelle Robert. Charles de Gaulle Airport, please. Passenger slips into the backseat, dragging a backpack that apparently weighs a ton. You want to put that in the truck? She refuses politely, with a shake of the head. Thanks, but I'm going to have to get used to keeping it with me. Going to be on my back for an entire month. You smile and start the cab. A glance in the rearview mirror, your passenger is rather young and the camera around her neck very expensive. Her backpack, a scarf, and clothes are fairly worn. Going on vacation? Small, almost nervous laugh escapes her. Yeah, I guess you could say that. She looks out the window at the passing roads. So then you aren't going on vacation? Libya. Her cool, flipped tones immediately bring the conversation to an end. Sorry. A second or two goes by before your passenger can even bring herself to look at you. It's fine. It's me. I've been on edge lately. She shrugs. I'm sorry. She's watching you, senses she can talk to you, lowers their gaze. I'm on my way to Greece to join an NGO rescue vessel. Let her go on. That helps immigrants trying to make the crossing, and I'm going to do a story on them. Oh, are you a journalist? She smiles, the first since you set off. Yes, a photojournalist. Yeah, I'm sure they cross even during winter. I'm sure it's pretty tough as well. I imagine it's going to be pretty tough. Tough, yes, it's going to be very hard. But I want to do it. I volunteered. I even made the fuss to get the assignment. Her tone of voice is increasingly shrill. I read first-hand accounts. I talked to journalists who have worked on the subject. I can't just ignore the whole thing. She gives a short laugh. I even played the video game about refugees. Beautifully done. Really powerful. I knew I couldn't just sit back and watch. It was my chance to show the world what's going on there. Your passenger's phone starts to ring. As she glances at the caller name, her face is freeze. She sighs, a troubled smile flickering across her face, then takes the call. Hi, Dad. I'm in a cab, right? Yeah, I told you. I tried, but he wouldn't change his mind. Come on, Dad. I already told you, I'll be fine. They wouldn't be sending me if there were... She moves the phone a bit further from her ear. Come on, Dad, stop. Dad. Listen, everything's going to be fine. I'll be there for 20 days with a group of professionals who have been doing this for years. That's right, a group of rescue professionals. Would you just stop? She sighs heavily, it's no use. She's been down this road 1,000 times. Help her out? What do you mean I can help her out? Let's try. We're about to get to a tunnel, mademoiselle. You're going to cut out. The young woman looks up at you in surprise. Then her face lights up. Do you hear that? I have to go. I'll call you back as soon as I'm... She's interrupted again. That's right. I'll call back. She hangs up, wide-eyed, and breathes a long sigh. My parents, they can be a little much at times. She smiles. Anyhow, thanks for jumping in there. You can sense the tension, the wave of frustration and anxiety welling up inside of her. Her unhappiness and anxiety are palpable. She closes her eyes, collecting her thoughts, trying to dispel her negative emotions. If I only had a little time. Time for what? Time to do yoga. It really helps me relax. It's an amazing way to unwind, to calm down and release tension. There must be a yoga room somewhere in the airport. We're almost there. I can pull over, I guess, if you like. She looks at you closely, not sure what to think. What do you mean? There's a gas station up ahead, a rest area for truck drivers. There won't be anyone there right now. Alright, sure, why not? There's no more talk for a few minutes. Your passenger glances out the window every now and then. You drive past the gas station, the main building, the trucks, then get to a small, quiet rest area. A clearing lit up by your headlights and the moon suddenly appears. There is no one around. The air is cool. The young woman leans in towards you. Is this the place? You nod. It's incredibly calm, as if you were in the middle of the woods. Her eyes take in every detail, every tree and bush. Do you come here often? Whenever I can. She nods. She understands. It's so quiet. Even in the middle of winter, it looks so peaceful. She reaches for the door handle. You won't leave without me, will you? Of course not. She gets out of the cab and puts her things on the picnic table. The wind is chilly. She shivers. She gives you one last look, then closes her eyes. For a minute or two, you watch her doing yoga exercises. Her eyes remain closed. Her face gradually starts to relax. A truck behind you pulls out of the rest area. This place has a calming effect on you too. Some summer nights, you come here to take a nap. The young woman is stretching now. The headlights cast soft shadows among the dark foliage. In the winter, you smoke a cigarette or two, waiting for potential clients to land. The young woman gets back in the cab. She says nothing, there's no need. You sense she's recovered her calm and is ready to face the rest of her journey. You drive away, leaving behind the clearing, the rest area at the gas station. The young woman is sleeping. Really? She looks very awake to be. The road keeps passing by, and before long, you're approaching the airport. A moment later, you turn down the radio, the song fades. You pull up over here. I'll pull up over here. It'll be easy for you to get out of the cab. You get to the airport drop-off zone. A couple of colleagues greet you with a wave. Few bleak-looking passengers are struggling with huge suitcases in car trunks. Security guard sitting on the luggage cart smokes a cigarette, clearly exhausted. Your passenger pays the fare, collects her things, but doesn't leave the cab. Thank you for getting me out of that horrible phone call. I love my parents, but they are suffocating. You could have gone on for hours. So, thank you. I have to go now. I have the feeling my parents are going to call again. Might as well go in there, it's warm and it's not a disturbance. Take good care of yourself. I will, I promise. She gets out of the cab with all her gear. Your eyes follow her as she heads to the terminal. The airport doors close behind her. You sit there a minute or two, all by yourself. There's no one around. May as well head out as soon as possible. Nice, we just made 46 euros out of that with a $16 with 16 euros tip. That's pretty cool. So well worth it just to finish my night as well. All right. Let's head home. That's it. Yeah. All right. So I know a bit more about my clients. We met Amelie. So let's see what's the damage today. Oh, we made 97. Okay, maybe not. Oh my god, we just lost 200. Jesus fuck. Alright, that's bad, man. That's bad. We only have 122 euros. Alright, we gotta be more stingy. Gotta collect more fares, I guess, in the next coming nights. Alright, let's look at the board. There's no new information here at the table or documents. Let's see what else we got. I organized this a bit better by victims or by suspects because they seem to be connected somehow to the victim. So I'll just leave everything in the same place. Victim one, great football coach. Let me put that here. Let's see what else do I have. First 3 victims' files not part of police leak. Doesn't seem to be much else new. Okay, doesn't seem to be anything else new. Let me look at the Pasidex and then we'll call this a night. So, Voyeur, there's no more options with her. Still have a lot to learn from Christopher, there's a lot of points still. The DJ is done. Amelie is still tough to say. Annabelle seems to have a couple more points. Who else do we saw tonight? Henri with the dog. This guy we met, Hussein, is that our name? Okay. He's our boss. Lieutenant. Yeah, she has a couple more as well. Alright. Cool. Cool. Alright, let me go back here and I'm gonna finish the night right here. There's not much else to do at the moment. And I'm just gonna say thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye now.